It's half past the hour on midnight on the East Coast. I'm GeoEnvironmental Atmospheric Forecaster Andrew Fleck. We look toward our eyes of the Mid-Atlantic region where a winter storm of mixed bag precipitation and snow further north does currently affect. This video is going to be very short and going to explain something that not many forecasters or even the public once nodded their head to anticipating, and that is the crashing of temperatures. Now, this was expected, but it wasn't something that was too much evident in many forecasts out there, including ours, and we want to be able to put that right now at this very moment to those who are awake or those waking up in the morning toward what's happening and what happened beginning this onset of precipitation and where all of this is turning into for the overnight time frame. What I'm going to show you here is the SPC meso-analysis data. We're going to focus on wet bulb temperatures and thicknesses. I think it's very important to show you where they once were on the onset and where they are now going into midnight, past midnight, and our overnight hours. What we'll show you, and what I really would like you to move most of your focus toward, is this area in here, much of Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, but this whole area that I really circle in here. What I want you to watch is the pink lines, the green line, yellow, and blue. This pink line indicates your surface freezing, your freezing surface temperature. So if you're above that pink line, you're probably freezing at the surface. If you're just below that, you're at freezing or a little above. Now, those other colors, green, blue, yellow, that's some of those upper mid-level thicknesses. Those are the thicknesses that indicate if they go further south or north of you, where you're seeing warming in the mid-levels or cooling in the mid-levels, which at the end product equals out to either sleet, freezing rain, or all snow. But I want you to watch this area, specifically in eastern Pennsylvania, and how 4 hours ago these thicknesses were much further north, and how now come this overnight period, midnight and after, they're beginning to crash southward. Temperatures are beginning to cool down, and that's not something that many people were catching on to. A lot of people this evening were saying, okay, we're already at our ice stage. How in the world are we going to get the snow? How is your winter weather forecast going to involve its agreeing fruition? And so we still put that winter forecast out, that snow forecast for the area. We do think that it is valid, and we do believe that because of the temperatures that are cooling down, that are crashing. So let's show you in this area what the 4-hour thicknesses once looked like. You can see, obviously, the pink, the green, the yellow, further north of the Poconos, all the way up through central Pennsylvania, north central Pennsylvania. But 2 hours ago, it began to slowly dive into now central Pennsylvania. Now, currently, much more closing in on eastern Pennsylvania. So these thicknesses are beginning to move into now areas such as the Lehigh Valley, the Susquehanna Valley, back through central Pennsylvania and so forth and so on. And that's why we believe that if you started at a little ice or freezing rain, don't be surprised if you switch back to a little bit of snow and it does accumulate. Another indice that we're going to show you here is wet bulb. So what wet bulb really does, and I'm going to move down here, my apologies, is where there's precipitation and a saturation level in the atmosphere, wherever that is, that's going to be your temperature, hypothetically. And so we find that this purple line to be the freezing line, or the freezing temperature, hypothetically in wet bulb. So wherever there's precipitation falling, wet bulb would say that, okay, it would be about below freezing for, say, the Lehigh Valley and northward. A little further south, obviously, still above freezing. But that even shows temperatures much colder than even the thicknesses are. And all of this is beginning to transition north to south, meaning that the atmosphere is beginning to cool. Let's show you also here 4 hours ago. That was just going through Northampton County, going through northern New Jersey. 2 hours ago. 1 hour ago. It's beginning to push southward. So that's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're looking at here when it comes to these temperatures and the changings and fluctuation of precipitation type going from ice, freezing rain, back to snow. That's how it's going to be for the rest of the night until at least we get that nosing warm air advection into the region by come mid-morning on Wednesday, where most of it changes the rain or gets out of here. The last area I'm going to show you in regards to temperatures are the 850. This is the mid-levels. And I also want to show you the exact same location here. Focus your eyes on Pennsylvania and New Jersey and these blue lines. Now this last blue line is where we have really our freezing line to be. Any line north of that is just the colder that it gets. These red lines indicating above freezing. So let's go 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago we had the red line going all the way up to about Bucks County, Northampton County, northern New Jersey. 2 hours ago that began now out about Philadelphia. The freezing line just moves through the Lehigh Valley, and currently we can see that that is completely pushed through the area, much of Pennsylvania. So temperatures again are freezing. They're beginning to cool down. This doesn't mean any significant change to a forecast. This was expected. It just wasn't reiterated as elongated in our forecast and many other forecasts out there. This is why we still are hopeful in our validation of snowfall, that some of this ice will transition back to snow, back and forth, and that's why we see that mix to 1 inch, that 1 to 3 inches. Further north you go, I-80, maybe 2 to 4, and maybe a little more. So that's what we're watching here late at night. A nowcast will be out at 2 a.m. If you're still awake for that, we will be updating you, and another one then at 5 a.m. You have a good rest of your night. If you need to be out this late hour, please be careful on the roads. They can be slippery at times.